Yes, people. Welcome back live on the channel for the Premier League show, the weekly Premier League show. We'll do this content twice a week because we obviously did the Premier League review and the Premier League preview. But obviously, the game weeks just ended, so we decided why don't we just do the preview today and the review today as well. First of all, let's say Happy New Year to everyone tuning in. It's the first video of 2025, and obviously the channel grew to 108 subs recently. So big up to you guys for the support and the love that you guys have shown in the last, few videos in the last year. This year, let's get to new heights, people. So make sure you subscribe and like the videos. Prime, what are you saying, bro? Happy New Year, Reggie. Can't hear you, I think.
Sorry?
I can't hear you.
Sorry? No, you cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I cut out. Sorry. I said, Prime, what are you saying? Happy New Year, bro.
Oh, I'm good. Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah. Big up. And yeah, big show. Well, I wouldn't call it a big show, but because, my thoughts on Man United, but we'll definitely get into it because, it's definitely interesting. Premier League is a must, like, it's always a must talk because it's one of the most watched leagues, probably the most watched league in the world. And obviously, we all have to discuss about it. Let's review about the games because obviously, United lost to Newcastle, Chelsea lost to Ipswich. Talk to me about the Ipswich game because I know I can tell you're very, very, very upset by that game. I can tell you, you're that the loss against Ipswich for me, I think Chelsea has just kind of is it a confidence sort of thing? Is it what's happened to Chelsea in the last few games? Because I thought, you guys, since that loss against Fulham, you've not looked great. Like, I didn't watch the Everton game, but the last two games, I feel like Chelsea just did not look good on the ball. They just looked very, very lackluster. But talking about the Ipswich game, man, because, obviously you're a Chelsea fan, just give your summary of something through it.
The squad is showing what it actually is. Without our forward scoring, we don't control games, which I've been talking about all season, and our defense isn't good. So it's being exposed for what it actually is. Enzo can't keep playing games in midfield without protection. Caicedo's been burnt out a little bit because he's just playing too many games because he can't get a rest.
Right.
Jackson deserves a rest. And Cuckoo comes in, he's awful. I've been telling people he's not good. Felix has to go. And Fofana's our best centre back, and even he might not be good enough because of his injuries. So.
Fofana is your best centre back. I mean, that's not what Chelsea fans want to hear, really, because Fofana's not been, he's not been fit for Chelsea. He's been injured. He's hardly played for Chelsea over the years, and him being your best centre back is kind of wild.
He's played 10 games this season. But yeah, I don't know. It is. I mean, listen, it is what it is. This is stuff that I expected. I expected it to start off rightly, and that is allowed. Oh my god. Yeah, things are happening from what I expected, so it is not that deep for me. It is what it is. We'll still get top four, but we should still get top four.
Yeah. Look, the loss against Fulham kind of drained you guys towards the end of the game. I feel like you guys let that goal in very, very cheaply, because I think Sanchez, for me, I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know what Sancho at the end. I don't know. I also don't know what the shot was, or the decision making. Is slow from Chelsea. Just the ball movement was slow. Chelsea just tried to waste time. I felt like. Actually, no, sorry, not waste time, but they tried to, get a goal, and then they were lost. They were lost in their minds. I feel like they were caught in, like, they were caught. They got caught in possession quite easily, and then that's where Fulham, sort of countered attack, and then they won the game at the end. You got hit on the counter because Fulham dug deep, and then they ended up, getting the result that they dreamt of, really, because Stamford Bridge is not an easy place to go to the season. It's not, and Chelsea have showed their vulnerability in the last 2 games. I didn't watch the Ipswich game, but I can tell that Chelsea now look vulnerable because it might be an overreaction to say that, but I think the defense is really showing what they're made of. I reckon you guys just need to fix your defense. That's really it for me. Your attack, like I've said all season, is your strongest point. And Caicedo in midfield has been one of your best players this season. Where I feel Chelsea are just a lackluster is defense and the keeper. These two positions need to be addressed in the summer. I know you guys signed many goalkeepers. I know you just recalled your goalkeeper back. But really and truly, like, quality-wise, and I've heard some news about Tomori as of late. What's your initial thoughts on that? Because you know what it is with Tomori. If you guys sign him, right, bring him back to Stamford Bridge, I reckon that sorts out your defensive issues a little bit. I wouldn't say it completely solves it because you still need a couple more center backs, in my opinion. I don't think you guys have that defensive depth that people keep talking about. I'm not really. I'm not a massive fan of how'd you call it? Not Fafana. You've also who's the other center back you got again? Not Tosin, but another one. Colwell. I mean, it's lackluster, bro. It's lackluster. Yeah. Well, what are you saying other than that?
There's nothing else I can really say. It's the same stuff over and over about Chelsea. So is what it is. I'm annoyed with the fan base more than anything else, really. But is what it is.
Does that completely rule you out of getting into a title race? Possible title race?
We're not. I've been telling people we're not in a title race. We're not in a title race.
No, I know, but does this rule you out of any chance of getting close to Liverpool at all this season? Do you think that rules you out?
We were never close to them.
I think we were 2 points off them at one point. No,
Points doesn't mean anything in terms of actual actual ability. Yeah, we're not close to them.
Do you see Chelsea doing the business in January? Because obviously, January window's not open. There's rumors flying around. There's Tomori to Chelsea. What's your initial thoughts on Tomori? Because I know you're big. I can tell you're a massive fan of Tomori, and I can see you want him at Chelsea.
They said 1-0 Chelsea.
Sorry.
What did you just say?
I can tell you're a massive fan of Tomori at Chelsea. Bring him back to Chelsea.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of Tomori, but we'll see because we're linked to him.
What's your overall thoughts on the news? Do you reckon that it's a possibility? Do you reckon you bring him back, or do you think you just go and move on to someone? I know you brought that Boca defender, but does that really solve anything? Because you're bringing in a young center.
No, he's a kid. He's not gonna play. He's a kid, and he also has the work permit issues as well, so he's not gonna play.
Look, I mean, yeah, obviously the work permit issues might be a thing, but other than that, do you see Tomori going back to Chelsea? Do you see Chelsea buying him back? Do you see them doing business in January, other than the Boca defender?
I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know.
In terms of because Fofana's injury prone. Tosin's a good center back. I think Tosin's good, but I reckon you guys need someone to play alongside Tosin.
I don't know. I need center back in general.
Who do you like? if you had to tell an ideal center back, if you had to say like an ideal center back, who would you want? Like if you had to like say a realistic ideal center back other than Tomori. I disagree. I think Tolson's been good for Chelsea. I can't lie. But yeah, what do you think of like what's your initial thoughts? Like what's your like who's your realistic center back option? If not Tomori, who do you see Chelsea going to get?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we're signing him.
Do you ever see Chelsea going for like maybe a contest like not contest what's this guy Diomande? Do you think like a player like a Diomande would be good for Chelsea? Because you know he's young, he plays for Sporting. I know he's not proven himself in the world's elite, but because obviously Chelsea do like signing young players. Chelsea like signing players like a bit below the age of 25. So what do you think of Diomande? Like, do you think he'd be a solid center back for you guys if you were to sign him?
Uh, Sorry. Um, Something just happened. Like
Oh,
an emergency that I've got to deal with. Sorry.
oh,
Well, apologies, guys.
no
Um,
worries, man,
yeah,
no worries.
I've got to go. But yeah, sorry.
What's your score prediction for the Chelsea game this weekend? If you don't mind me asking.
We're losing 1-0 to Palace. They play with a back five. Chelsea struggle against low blocks, particularly teams that play with a back five. We're losing one.
Mm.
So,
No, no worries, no worries,
so,
man, no worries. All good.
um,
Yeah,
yeah. Apologies. But yeah, keep watching, guys, and like and subscribe.
no worries. All good, man. All good, man. Have a good one, bro. Be back in a minute, people. Be back. I back people. Um, no, I disagree. I think Tosin's a good defender. I just don't think he's. I think people are overlooking at his performances. Look, people say people say it came from Fulham and stuff like that, but like really and truly, um, I don't know. I think he's been good for Chelsea. Do I think he's the center back for the future? No, but in the short term, I think he's been. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's been quite good for Chelsea. I can't lie. Let's see if Conceição will play tomorrow. He's going to be benched all season for Chelsea. The thing with Conceição is, I mean, Tomori is probably one of AC Milan's best defenders. If we're being real, like the guy does. If he's not playing this amount of games, I'm kind of surprised, really, because defenders just need to defend. It's not just about the system. It's like the defenders just have to defend. It's not just about playing after the back. It's if he's able to defend. And Tomori's been a good defender for AC Milan. He's been very, very good for AC Milan. I don't see why he should be benched. I don't see why he's even being benched. You know, like if he goes back to Chelsea, I think he'd work out. I think he'd be decent. I think he'd be a very, very, very good player for Chelsea. Yeah, like I said, I've spoken about Chelsea's attack, midfield, and defense. I think Chelsea's attack and midfield are the strongest points. It's about the defense. The defense has been one of the weakest points, and the keeper. That can change eventually, but I just don't see Chelsea, trusting in this defense right now is just not it's not going to work. Fofana's injury prone. Yeah, he has been injury prone. I kind of like because I remember that injury that he had when he joined Chelsea from Leicester for like an expensive, very expensive fee. I remember he was, I remember he was a part of, that Leicester team, and then he joined Chelsea and he got injured, and he's been injured for a very long time. He came back for a bit, and then he went and he's got back injured again. So it's tough. It's been tough for him. I can't lie. I feel bad, but it's not been easy. It's not been easy for him. I can't lie. And obviously, remind me of his name again, because I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name. I forgot. Forgot what his name is. Yeah, top four is good. I wouldn't say just top four is good. I'd say actually win some trophies with top four for Chelsea. Big up King, bro. What are you saying, man? Thank you for pulling through, man. Obviously, Prime had to go off. So, yeah, thanks for pulling through for a bit, man.
No, it's all good. It's all good. In a bit of a better mood than I was earlier this week with my team.
Nah, I can't. Yeah, can't lie. Same, bro. Same. Celtic sort of picking up form again, and then United just not looking good. So I guess I'm just feeling a bit better. I can't lie, feeling a bit better. But yeah, United had a poor week. I was live on stream. You were there. You see my reactions to the goal. But we'll get on to United a bit. I just want to ask your opinions on Chelsea, because obviously I've heard some rumors that Chelsea had linked with a few defenders, and Tomori being one of them. Would you take him back at Stamford Bridge? I think he'd be a good defender for you guys. I reckon if you bring him back along with maybe another defender, with the Boca defender, maybe you could have some defensive depth. I just think for me, Fofana, Colwell has not worked well. I reckon you guys should bring in another defender. Another defender would be good. What do you think?
No, I think Fofana Colwell works well. It's just Fofana's not reliable, and the best ability is the availability. So him and Badashile look to be out for long periods of time. So
Right.
we have to get rid of Disasi. I don't think we can trust
him.
Yeah.
Disasi, Badashile, for me, those two defenders, I don't think that partnership has ever worked out for Chelsea. It's always been exposed. Every time they play together, they always get exposed at the back. And I just think it's not going to work well, because one's like an on-ball defender, one's like an off-ball defender. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just think one's more like a ball-playing type of defender. So I'm not too sure. And then obviously, I mean, there were times that they played well, but it's just they have not been consistent.
No, I think
Okay.
Badashili is better with other defenders. I just think Disasi's terrible for me. It'll be good to
Yeah,
see what the young kid come from Argentina does, but I think we need leadership kind of defenders. So as
right.
good as Tomori coming back would be, I would rather us go for someone similar ilk to like a Guehi, someone who's a bit older, a bit more experienced, a bit more. We need captains more than anything. So the next centre back we should go for should be one of the older ones. I mean, unrealistic would be someone of like a Bastoni level. I think
Yeah, you
we
need
need to
like
upgrade. We need an upgrade in terms of we need someone alongside Colwell who can be the leader role.
how
Because
about
we,
yeah,
we have two B side defenders in Fofana and Colwell, and even Badashili's B side, but we don't have
right,
leaders. We
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have guys that we can trust. We don't have that
What,
Terry type.
what about Diomande? If you were to sign a player like Diomande from Sporting, what do you think of that signing? Do you think it'd be a good signing for Chelsea? You think he'd fit in well? Because
He
obviously
would, he would, but I
he's
don't think
he's
that's
a ball
what
player.
we need.
Now you need a
Um,
left-sided defender, in my opinion. I
yeah,
need someone on the left side. Maybe like an Inacio or something. Maybe like a let's say unrealistic but Bastoni type of
yeah,
player.
that's what I would.
You
I
need someone.
Bastoni, in terms of the leadership role, I think Guehi because he understands the club. Bringing him back would be good. If
Yeah, Guay.
Christensen's available, I'd bring him back as well. I think he'd be quality for us. So
Sorry,
there's
who?
options out there in terms of centre back. It's
Tomori?
just not many.
Tomori, you mean?
I don't know about Tomori. I like Tomori, but I don't know if he would work.
Right.
Maybe even Tomori, but
No,
because
I just
I've
think
liked what he's
Tomori has
done it
always
in
been good
Italy.
for you guys. I just think Tomori's always been good for you guys. It's
Yeah,
just never been given the opportunity that he deserved. And when he
yeah,
went to
definitely.
Milan, he proved himself. I don't understand why he's even getting dropped now. I actually rate Tomori. Tomori's actually been a really good defender for Milan. I just don't know why he's been dropped for what?
Yeah.
Who Malik Tiao or something like that? What? Nah, man. He's a really good defender, man. I don't see. Yeah, I don't see why. Yeah, I'm doing my prayers on Sunday. Oh yeah, you saw my thumbnail, haven't you? You saw my thumbnail, didn't you? My thumbnail is mad. I just did a crazy thumbnail. Yeah, it's prayer for United Sunday. I will be there on Sunday. I will be there. Top four for Chelsea season is good. Yeah, I think top four is a realistic option for Chelsea, but also you need to go for you need to win a trophy. That Conference League does not really count for me. Even though it
Um,
does, it doesn't count as like a what do you call like a massive. It's like the equivalent of an FA Cup in terms of what you get out of winning the FA Cup because you get Europa League from winning Conference League, right? You
yeah,
win the
yeah.
FA Cup, you get Europa League. I'm not saying that it's the same level. FA Cup's way better than the Conference League for me personally, but what I'm trying to say is you get the same reward. You get Europa League football, but you get top four, you get Champions League, so you don't have to worry about all that anyway. So I think I reckon you guys can get the Conference League, and I reckon you guys need to go for the FA Cup.
Yeah, definitely. Also, you have the Club World Cup at the end of the year, so I think if
Yeah,
we can get the Club World Cup or FA Cup on top of the Conference League, I think that would be a great season.
I
And
reckon you guys have good depth, because going to the Club World Cup would be like you guys would bring in your young players. I don't think necessarily every club's gonna bring their best players because they're gonna need the summer off,
yeah,
and I feel like it's better to just bring a mixture of young players and experienced players to go and battle in the Club World Cup. It'll be interesting to see how it is, but we'll definitely talk about the Club World Cup in a later date. Obviously, you guys lost to Ipswich Town. Um, talk me through that result because obviously I think Chelsea lost confidence through, when you lost to Fulham off that late counter attack winning goal, and Sanchez once again makes another mistake with the kick. So yeah, talk me through that game because I feel like you guys did not deserve to win that game, the Fulham game and then the Ipswich game, and because I think you guys are being vulnerable now on the ball or vulnerable in defense. What are you saying?
no, I don't think we're vulnerable. I just think it's individuals. So for me, their first goal wasn't a goal because it wasn't a penalty. It was a bad refereeing mistake. And even yeah, the first goal, it just for me wasn't a penalty. It is what it is. But I think going forward, we didn't do enough to score goals. I think our attackers were very poor, and I don't like Nkunku at the 9. it can work in the
He's a
Conference
false
League.
nine.
Yeah, but it doesn't work in the Premier League. False nines work for La Liga, maybe even in Italy, maybe in Germany. But in the English Premier League, you need a 6 foot plus number 9 that can battle the defenders, that can score headers, that can do, the running. If you look at the nines that do well in the league, the Haalands, your Liam Delaps, even Jackson, they're all 6 foot plus and have actual, body strength and stuff. And Kunku got bullied. And on the other end, our defenders got bullied by Liam Delap. I put it this way: if we had Liam Delap and they had Nkunku, we would win that game 4-0. Easy. Just based on the way we were playing and what we needed. And for me, I think a big thing was a lot of fans saying, "Oh, Nkunku, Felix need to play." But the thing is, they need to play in the 10. That's what they need. What we should have done is put either Nkunku or Felix in the 10 and played the youngster Mark Guiu, because I think he would have been much better in that 9 position than Nkunku. For me, when it comes to these youngsters, play them. Disasi, take him out, play Josh Achimpong instead. We can't afford to use experienced players that don't fit the bill. I'd rather use youth team players, especially Ipswich. Ipswich are similar level to Championship or the teams that you face in the Conference League. So
Ipswich move the ball around well. They move the ball around well, and they're very they're very cohesive team. They actually like the chemistry around the team. Actually, if you look at it, right, the way they move the ball, the way they switch the play, excuse me, fucking hell, the way they switch the play at the start of there, switch the play, the way they the way they attack, I kind of like it. I'll be honest, I kind of like it, but really and truly, like, it's Ipswich Town. At the end of the day, right? We can say Chelsea the better team. At the same time, you guys did not do your job. You didn't do your job. You didn't take your chances because you had chances in the first half to get back in the game. I've been seeing on the goal rush. I saw that Chelsea had chances to score. Obviously, Chelsea hit the bar, and then those goal was ruled out for offside. And then I didn't see. And after that, really, Chelsea didn't provide much threat. Really, I think, and Ipswich could have been. Ipswich won that game at the end of the day quite comfortably if you look at it.
Yeah, it was down to the second goal. The thing about the second goal was, up until that point, every Chelsea fan knew that Disasi was terrible. The fact of the matter is, he's the reason why they scored the second goal. He passes it. But he does a basic. The one thing defenders are always told: never pass through the middle without checking where you're passing. He does a pass through the middle. They get the ball from there. It's just curtains, and he never recovers from that. And I think he should have left him. Madueke should have been replaced at halftime. For me, Enzo Maresca in the last 3 games hasn't been good with substitutions. He's been very reactive,
very reluctant.
He's been very reactive. He hasn't done what he done in previous games and made the changes earlier. If he made those changes earlier, I believe if you take off the Sassy Madueke, put on Neto and put on Achimpong, we win that game. I wouldn't have put on Malagusto and put him on too late because he's been poor in recent games. Use the kids. I would have took off Nkunku earlier as well and put on Guiu out of rested Jackson, because I think you would have been good enough to get some goals in that game. I don't think Ipswich are a good team. I just think we let ourselves down in terms of attacking and defensively. And we can't afford to have these players like Disasi in our team anymore. I think he has to be moved
but they're
on.
not better. They're a good team, but they're not better than Chelsea. Let's just say it as it is. They're not on any given level better than Chelsea. And Chelsea should win that game. It's a bit of a slump for Chelsea right now because the last 2 games, you've conceded 4 goals. You've only scored 1. But I'm only talking about the last 2 games. Actually, let's just talk about the last 3. You scored 1 goal. You scored 1 goal in 3. And what do you make of Felix so far? Because obviously Felix has not been impressive for Chelsea as of late. He's not joined, and he's not hit the ground running like he did. I wouldn't say he hit the ground running last time as well. He came to Chelsea, but still, like he's been. I say he's slow. Like he's not really hit the ground running yet. I still think he's a very, very crucial player for you guys. I still think he'll be a good player for you guys to use, obviously. It's just about whether you can, utilize him into the system, because As I rate Felix, Felix is a good player, but you have Nkunku to play in the false 9, excuse me, not false 10. False 9. Felix in the false 9. You got Jackson playing up top. It's not really going to work, is it? It's a reluctancy of substitutions as well in the last few games to not bring on, the right type of players. Sancho's looked okay. He's not been amazing, but he's come back into the Chelsea team and he's not looked bad. That Spurs game he played was very, very good. I think that was one of his best games in a while, right? Then you've also got Madueke. And I just think that they've been disappointing the last few games. What do you think? What do you think, bro? What are you saying?
In terms of the attackers, I think the biggest issue is Maresca putting them in the position at the right time, making the right subs. In the Ipswich game, Felix was our best attacker, and he took him off first when Madueke and who was on the left and Nkunku up top were the worst attackers in my opinion. I think for me, you have to put it as individuals as okay, what positions do they play? So in our 10, we have Palmer as the number 1 10. Who's your backup 10? It's either going to be Nkunku or Felix. Most likely will be Felix because Nkunku doesn't want to be a backup guy. So for me, Nkunku has to be moved on. In your left, you have Sancho. Your backup, you don't have anyone at the moment because of the Mudryk situation. So left wing is something that you may have to resolve in the summer. Right wing, you have Neto as the starter, Madueke as the backup. Cool. Up front, you have Jackson. You don't trust you, so you need to bring in a striker. So if you look at it, I would get rid of Nkunku. I would bring in a left wing if Mudryk is banned for a long time and get a striker in as well. Because that's what you need two in every position in this league, especially when you're playing multiple competitions. And if you don't trust the likes of Tyreek George, of these youngsters to come in, then bring someone in that can play those positions. Because for me, I don't like people being shoehorned into positions that they shouldn't be in. I don't want to see Felix on the left. I don't want to see Nkunku up top. I don't want to see these players play in positions they're not comfortable with. I don't want to see Disasi in my defense anymore. And I just need you either to trust the youngsters or bring players back. It's good to see that Reece James and Lavia look like they're coming back. But at the same time, we have long-term injuries for Fofana and Badashile, so we need a centre-back as well. So this January, centre-back and striker are priorities. And then in the summer, look to bring in a left wing if Mudryk gets a long-term kind of thing. And in the summer as well, looking to bring a goalkeeper as well, because I don't trust Sanchez. I like Jorgensen as a backup, but Sanchez for me is terrible. I don't think he's good enough. So I think that the issues we have is that our attack ain't clinical enough and our defense have too many individual errors that you need to trust youngsters now. I need Maresca to put in some youngsters in and give people chances, because in the end of the day, what's the point of having an academy if you're not going to use these academy ballers? What's the point of creating them for? You look at Arsenal with Wanyeri and players of that ilk. Look at United with Kobe Mainoo and Amad Diallo being their best players, the youngsters. This is your young man's game. The younger players are some of the better players in these teams, so use them. I'm tired of seeing Disasi. I'm tired of seeing Nkunku up top. So for me, those two have to be moved on. It is what it is. But yeah, they're surplus for requirements, in my opinion. And I think if you don't trust Felix either, sell him and bring in another 10. You say you like Carney, use Carney. Use what you have. You have a plethora of players, a plethora of guys in the academy. Use them in their rightful positions. And I'm tired of players being shoehorned into positions. That. As soon as I saw Disasi in that starting lineup against Ipswich, I knew we were going to lose just because he's a liability. And in the Premier League games, you can't afford to be 10 men playing with 10 men already before the game starts. So that's the biggest issue. Maresca has to make some changes. And if he doesn't, we're going to lose to Palace as well.
No, I hear that. I mean, Palace away it's not an easy game. It's not an easy away game. Obviously, going away to Crystal Palace is not ideal, especially with this form. And obviously, early in January, it can be a tough game. Any injuries? Any any suspensions this week? any important misses for this weekend for you guys?
No, only I think Reece James and Lavia seem to be back, so there'll be limited minutes. But yeah,
I don't think Reece
still,
James play. I don't think Reece James will play. I
he'd
think
probably come off the bench. But in terms of injuries,
I
it's
wouldn't
the
even bring
same.
on.
Fofana and Badashili are out.
I wouldn't even
No
bring him
new
off the bench,
injuries.
bro. I wouldn't even bring Reece James off the bench. That's how fragile he is right now. He keeps getting injured, man. I just feel bad for him. He's a very, very talented player, man. He's such a good player. It's just the injuries that are just preventing him from playing in many, many games. Lavia, if you can integrate him back into the side, that'd be good because Lavia is a very, very talented player. He's very, very, very good. You've got Caicedo, he's fit. Obviously, you've got a good midfield. You've got a good setup there. It's just about whether you can, play. You can make a good plan. You can come up with a plan to get the players flowing again. Because the past few games has not been ideal for Chelsea, but obviously Palace away, not easy. What's your initial thoughts going into Palace game, and obviously your form as of late and how you can overcome it?
Palace away is very difficult. They do have a lot of ballers. They've got, I'm pretty sure in our last game we lost to them. Well, no, we drew them because Eze hit a rocket. So they have quality on the ball. They have a very tactical coach. They've been okay this season in terms of play overall, but they're a team that you can lose to if you're not on your A game. And as I said, if we shoehorn any players in positions, we will lose. If we use the sassy, we will lose. So for me, it just depends on. For me, when it comes to my club, it depends on the starting lineup. I'll look at that lineup and decide then and there if we win or lose. But we need to win. We can't afford to drop any more points. We're already fourth already, and top four is not guaranteed. And I think we will finish third overall in the season. I think that's the most likely position. But we need to win these games, and we can't afford because this part of the season is easier towards than our running. Our running is very difficult, so we need to get back on the horse and get 3 points again. And we need to hope and pray that Forest drop some points as well. So that's the kind of thing. When you drop points for 3 games in a row, it's just about getting that one win back. Once you get that one win back, that bit of confidence, then you can keep on winning to again. And then we need to go on a run of maybe 9 to 10 games of winning for me in order to kind of. So we need to just cement our top 4 position. I don't think we're going to go for no title, but top 4 Conference League and FA Cup or Club World Cup on top of that, that would be the perfect season for us. And then, as I said, make the right changes in January and in the summer to make the team worthy of competing for the title because we're not there yet, but we will be soon. So that's just about it. Maresca has to win games again because our fan base are very impatient when it comes to
Chelsea
multiple
fan base
games.
are
And
wild.
if he continues these poor decision making and the poor substitutions,
They'll be calling for his head.
He'll be gone quicker than you can say hello. So
I rate it though. I actually rate it because actually Chelsea fans want to see the team get back because finishing 12th is not ideal. It isn't ideal. Let's just say it as it is. Imagine if United finish 12th this year, right? There'll be a lot of people hammer him out, and I won't blame them. I won't blame them really. I really won't. I won't blame people who say we're gonna hammer him out. I won't. I don't care what people think about the manager. I'm not gonna care so much what people say about this and that. It's their opinion. It doesn't make them a fake fan. It doesn't make them any less of a fan. It's just their opinion. At the end of the day, we're all here to talk football. And if you have an opinion, say what you think. Don't worry about people what have to say. We're here talking about, football. We're here talking about, what we think of our clubs. And if there's an odd person commenting and slagging you off, continue talking about it. Continue talking. He just wants to hate. Let him hate. Just keep on going, people. Don't listen to Twitter bots that just have no no what do you call it, working? What do you think? They have no respect for you, really. but it's
Yeah,
all right.
definitely. Yeah,
It's
definitely.
all right.
It's the internet, man. They're faceless
yeah, it's
people
the
in the
internet.
end of the day.
Say what you think. Don't worry about these people. Just say things as it is, really. So yeah, um, we've actually spent quite a long time on the Chelsea game. Let's actually get into our score predictions now on top of the United game, because we should be spending this long on the United game, really. Because obviously the thumbnail says that as it is, isn't it? The thumbnail is what I, made this show about. Pray for Manchester United sort of show. Yeah, what's your score prediction, King? I'm gonna go with the 2-1 Chelsea win. What are you saying?
I don't know because I need to see the team first. But I won't go against my team. So what I
Yeah,
need to see is a comfortable 3-1 win, and that's what I'll
that would
need.
be good. That would be good to
That's what I
get the
need to
goals
see.
racking up again. You need to rack up the goals again, because I think the goal difference is important, and you need to go on a run of games,
Yeah,
hoping that maybe Liverpool, Arsenal drop more points. You guys need to keep on capitalizing, keep on getting results. It really doesn't matter if you're in a title race or not. Whether Chelsea fans say you're in a title race or not, you're within touching distance. You can still get in a title race. Even if you're not favourites to win the league, you can still get into a title race.
yeah,
As much
definitely,
as Chelsea fans are in denial, as much as you're in denial about it, it is what it is. You're still within a shout of you getting close to Liverpool. You need to hope that they drop points, but I don't see it happening this weekend anyway. We'll get onto that in a bit. But yeah, what are you saying? What's 3-1 Chelsea?
Yeah, 3-1. We need to just get back on the horse. We need another win. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that as well. The United game now. But people, while we're going to United, please make sure you like and subscribe. 2025 is the year I want my channel to hit new heights. So, you make sure you subscribe. King's link will be in the title. King's channel will be there. My links are in the description of my channel. So please make sure if you want to follow me on socials, please make sure you click the YouTube link, and then there'll be links to all my socials in the description. So make sure you guys go and follow that. Let's move on. Liverpool, Manchester United. Oh my. I don't know what to say about this game. If any of you are watching the last stream that I did before the new year, yeah, I was fuming. I was fuming. I was literally talking about Manchester United and Newcastle. I was watching the first half on stream. That's probably the only watch along I'll ever do for a while. Because you know what it is? I don't know, man. I just have no hope in this team. I really don't. And, people talk about, United, what we're gonna do, what's the manager gonna do, what lineup we're gonna put out. Just hope, pray, and seek help. A United fan out there, seek help. It's going to be a wild weekend. It's going to be a wild weekend, bro. United. Talk about United like a therapy session. It really is. It really is a therapy session, because I need to tell my rivals how bad we are, and my rivals are just sitting there on camera, just saying music to my ears, because how Manchester United used to be back in the day, and how noisy we used to be. Really and truly, now everyone's being noisy back to us, and verily, the tables turn. So we'll eventually get back to all that soon. Maybe in the future we'll see with what manager, what players, we'll see. However, the form that we're in right now, we've picked up. We've lost 4 games in a row. We've lost 4 on the bounce. We've lost 4-3 to Spurs. We've lost 3-0 to Bournemouth, 2-0 to Wolves, 2-0 to Newcastle. We scored 3 goals. We've scored 1 goal. Sorry, 2 goals in the Premier League. Sorry, was it 2 goals in the Premier League in the whole of December? I think it is, yeah. Or I don't know, I can't remember how many goals. 4 goals in the Prem. I think we lost to Forest in one of those games. Well, yeah, we lost to Forest. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I really don't see United going to Anfield and getting anything out of this game, really. You're going you're playing the best team in the Premier League right now. With the form that you're going in, but you're losing 4 games on the bounce, possibly going to lose 5 now with Liverpool. Excuse me. Liverpool just won 5-0 against West Ham. We just lost 2-0 at home to Newcastle. Two terrible defending, two terrible defensive errors from Lisandro Martinez in the air against Isak and Joelinton. Like, I don't understand. What is it we can't defend crosses? What is it that we can't do to defend the ball in the air? We can't attack the ball in the air. For some reason, we're just getting out jumped. We're conceding set pieces, a cross in the box, and pretty much that's it for United. Really, Liverpool have got some tall players. Van Dijk being one of them. Who else? Szoboszlai. I don't know how tall he is. Salah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the head against Lisandro Martinez. Really, Lisandro Martinez has not been good. He's not been the same player since he had the injury. I don't know, man. I'm not going into this game with any confidence whatsoever. It's just hope and pray that United get something out of this game. It's just at this point hope and pray. We're in the worst position that we could possibly in going into this game. We're in the worst form, one of the worst forms in a while. We've not lost 3 games in a row since Louis van Gaal. We've just done that against Newcastle at home. Kobe Manu comes on. We look a lot better in attack. We can't score, though. We can't take our chances. So this type of game is more like, if United were to win this game, if United were to get anything out of this game, it's like a smash and grab, one goal type of win, or 1 goal type of result. Because if United play the way they play at Anfield, get absolutely battered, Ruben Amorim's in a lot of scrutiny. Excuse me. He is in a lot. He's under a lot of pressure, and people want to say that's crazy, right? Because he just joined the club and he's not had his own players. If the result gets really bad, something might happen. I reckon there will definitely be something will definitely happen. Whether he gets sacked, whether he just, whether United, sell some players, I don't know. I can't really trust Ineos that much to do something because I'm not a fan of Ineos, and I haven't been for a while. But Sunday's game is where things could go interesting. Could really get interesting on Sunday. But like I said, if United were to get any result or any win from this game, it would be like a 1-goal smash and grab, like a 1-shot on target type of thing. Like it's like a one-time chance, take your chance and get out of there with something. Like a smash and grab goal. We ain't dominating Liverpool. We ain't beating Liverpool on the ball. We ain't having more possession than them. We're not going to dominate the ball. We're not. Pretty simple. We're just not going to dominate the ball. We're not going to nullify them. Liverpool will nullify us. And if Liverpool nullify us, it's going to be a horrible battering on Sunday. It's going to be a battering on Sunday if we're not careful. And I see a lot of mistakes in this team. I see a lot of individual errors. I see a lot of poor link up, poor chemistry, and nothing really in this team. And I'm worried. I'm worried about what's about to happen on Sunday. I am genuinely really worried about what's going to happen on Sunday. I have not been this worried going to Anfield since last season. Actually, no, not last season. The year where Liverpool were about to win the league in 2019-2020. That was the year I was most worried about going to Anfield. I was like, yeah, that's a guaranteed L. Liverpool went 16 clear with 16 to play. So, I don't know how many games we have left to play. Man, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. You take the floor, man. You take the floor, man. It's all yours.
The thing is with United, and I think this feels like my team 2 years ago when we had Graham Potter. And the thing about it is Graham Potter was a good coach. He came from a good system in Brighton, but the players he had weren't good enough to play his system. And it's very similar with Ruben. He has He's a great coach coming from a good system in Sporting to a system where there's a bunch of players that can't fit his system. And the problem with that being is a lot of these players have let down not just one, not just two, not just three, four different, maybe 3 to 4 different managers over a period of 5 to 6 years. And to expect any different from these players is crazy. So for me, hell, Ruben may get fired at some point in the season based on results. But the bigger issue will be the players. It's January, and I just need to see rumors of players leaving. The fact that Rashford's missing this game against Liverpool due to illness, that's another problem. He needs to go. For me, United will never be United again until they get rid of 90% of the squad and change it over the next couple years. This isn't a one-day problem. This is a one-season problem. This is a multi-season problem of a bunch of players not suitable for this league, not suitable for any system. If you look at both your goalkeepers, trash. If you look at your defenders, outside of maybe De Ligt, and for me, that's probably the only one I would keep. Maguire stayed for short term, but long term has
Mazraoui?
to go. Oh yeah,
Mazraoui?
no, I'm talking about centre backs. In terms of centre
Oh,
backs,
because
De Ligt's
Mazraoui
not.
right centre back times. That's why I was.
Yeah. Mazraoui I'd keep. But
Euro?
he's the only wing back I'd keep. Dalot would go. Everyone else would go. Luke Shaw would
Lenny
go.
Euro? Lenny Euro, what do you think of him?
I'd keep him. But in terms of the ones I've seen play, Lenny Euro, De Ligt, I'd keep. Mazraoui, I'd keep. That's about it. The rest of them can go. In terms of midfield, all of them can go outside of Kobe Mainoo. In terms of attack, all of them can go except for Amad Diallo. And if you say, and then you say that out loud, then you're like, oh, wow, that's crazy. You just spent 30, 40 million on one striker, another 70 million on another striker that don't score goals.
He's not a striker.
Yeah,
He does
and
not
that's
do his
exactly that's the problem. That's the problem. You've bought players for certain money that don't. Maybe he works as a 10. Maybe over time he could work as a 10. But I don't know if he's got that in him to be a 10 in Amarim's system. So when you look at the system that you're trying to play, you have a bunch of players that need to be moved on expeditiously, because it doesn't matter if it's Amarim's system, it doesn't matter if it's Guardiola's system, Klopp, it doesn't matter what manager you put into this situation. You have a bunch of players that are not good enough to be wearing the red of Manchester United. And as far as I'm concerned, this team needs to be called like it's Thanos snapped out of existence in terms of some of these players. There's no leadership. There's no quality. There's no nothing in this squad. And when you look at
people that Maguire should get the captain's armband again. I'm like,
no, get rid of him. Get rid of him too.
What are you smoking? The guy just got a 1-year contract just for apparently playing well. We've conceded more goals since he's come back into the fucking team, by the way. We've conceded more goals since he's come back into the team. People not realizing that. People just be like, oh, but he's played well. But we've conceded more goals since he's come back into the team. What are people even saying? Giving him a 1-year contract. For what?
He's living off that game against Haaland. That's what he's living off. That game against Haaland.
To sell him on? Are we extending a 1-year contract to sell him on? Because if that's the case, then that's fine. But if you're keeping him for another year and let him go for free, well, there's no fucking point. Just let him go now then. Just let him go now. Why are we giving mediocre players new contracts? I've always been worried. Only player that deserves a contract right now is Amad Diallo. No one deserves a new contract. We're rewarding failure. We're rewarding failure by giving new contracts right now in the worst point of our football club. We're in 14th with 7 points off the relegation. So are we rewarding new contracts? Are you joking? Amad Diallo should have gotten a new contract since we won the FA Cup, because he was the reason why we got to the final in the first place. That winner against Liverpool cemented that semi-final place. And then eventually got to the final, and then we won the FA Cup. But Amad Diallo didn't get the credit because Ten Hag didn't want to play him.
Yeah.
Where's that new contract then? Why didn't you give him the new contract since then? Why are you waiting now to give him a new contract when he's available to talk to other clubs in January? Why?
Yeah, that's true. That's mad.
Why are you waiting for him to be on a possible pre-contract agreement with someone else, to give him a new contract. Should have been given one since last summer. What are we doing? We're rewarding players with failure at this point. It's embarrassing. We're fucking 14, 7 points off the relegation zone in January, and Liverpool are up next. Oh my lord. Bro, it's going to be a bloodbath on Sunday if we're not.
You could be
respectful.
15th by the end of the weekend.
Bro, we could be 16th. We could be 16th.
No, not 16th. I don't think it'll be. Wait, let me
Everton
look at
have
this.
the game in hand. If Everton win the game in hand against Liverpool, right? If say Everton beat Liverpool, they go above us.
They're not
which
going to
is
do that.
Crazy.
They're not going to do
And do
that.
you know
But
who
if
we
Palace
have?
could beat us though this weekend, and you lose to
I
Liverpool,
don't
you'd be
think they
15th.
will. Do you know
happen.
who we have? Do you know who we have after Liverpool?
Who?
Arsenal away in the FA Cup.
Okay.
That's pretty much goodbye to the FA Cup. That's pretty much goodbye. We ain't catching Arsenal's 14 FA Cups unless we miraculously get a result somehow.
Yeah, but I would write off this season though. If I'm United, I'm writing off the season and just getting rid of players.
The season was already written off.
I'm pretty much getting rid of players. I'm getting rid of players.
The season was already written off the moment we kept that fucking bald fraud. The season was already written off the moment we kept Eric Ten Hag. We should never have kept him in the first place. The guy should have been sacked since the FA Cup final. We sacked Louis van Gaal for much less than what we sacked Eric Ten Hag for. We had to pay to sack Eric Ten Hag in the summer. Sorry, in October. It's a joke. I know you're laughing, but it's a joke. Really and truly, like, bro, this is the lowest point I think I've ever been with my football club.
Yeah, no, I was there 2 years ago. I was there 2 years ago.
And you know what's crazy of all this? I'm not even Ruben Amorim out. I could be if we're not if results get worse and we're like right above the relegation zone, like within like 2 or 3 points, then I'd be Ruben Amorim out. But I won't be yet unless he gets his own players in the January transfer window and we automatically go on a run of games and we win the Europa League or something. Because the Europa League is our only hope now. Other than that, I've got no I have no hope left this season. I really have no no glimmer of hope left this season, man. And it's another season where I just had to rely on my Boston Celtics to revive me. It's another year where I have to hope to revive me.
Yeah, your basketball's going good, but with Moncler, Mourinho, and them, man, the thing about it is the problem with Amorim, and this is a similar issue that Potter had, is he came too early. He came too early in the project. The thing about it is that he should have waited till the summer. He should have waited till next summer to come in. I think you should have, because for Amorim, his reputation is being ruined by players that aren't even good enough to play for him, or good enough to even play for Sporting. So the fact of the matter is, United fans need to realize that these players aren't good enough.
No, but
they're championship fodder, they're relegation fodder. They've shown this. They've proven to you they can't score goals. They can't keep the ball, or they can keep the ball, but not in any way that's meaningful. And the defending has been wolf. How do you concede 2 goals directly from a corner like you're on a playground?
In the space of a
both
fucking
keepers,
week. 2 different goalkeepers. 2 different
both
goalkeepers
keepers did that.
Okay, maybe the one against Spurs was slightly a foul, but there was no VAR then, so I can't really make excuses now. We just didn't start off on the right. We just didn't start off on the right path. Bro, like I said, the season was already written off the moment we kept Eric Ten Hag. Because imagine we got Ruben Amorim in the summer, bring in new players, bring in a new fresh idea with the preseason, with all this. Now we would have to go on a balance scrap in January, or we'd have to go on we have to rely on the January transfer to bail us out. Because, bro, we signed Bruno Fernandes in 2020. What's that done for us? Really nothing. I mean, I know we went on like an unbeaten run of games, but what does that ultimately led us to?
No, he's rubbish. He should have never been renewed. I don't know why you offered him a new contract with more money. I don't know why he's wore the captain's armband when he's been getting sent off left, right, and center, being petulant, acting like a baby, rolling around all the way. He ain't no leader.
Bro,
And the thing is,
Anfield 7-0, prime example of why he should never be the captain for United. Go watch that game back. Yeah, I do not want to talk about that game going into this weekend because that could happen again. That
oh
7-0,
no, it can happen again, and it will.
that 7-0 that happened 2 years ago, yeah. People are forgetting this, already 2025. It has been 2 years ago, yeah. The way Bruno Fernandes captained that United side on that day, the way he was rolling on the floor, crying to the referee, and I don't know if he asked to be subbed. I don't know if he asked, formation switch or whatever it is. Whatever he did, yeah, that game was the biggest disgrace of a captain's performance in the history of this football club. And I do not want to see the captain's armband on that guy ever again. Ever again. That captain's armband should have been stripped off the moment we lost 7-0 to Liverpool. Every single player that lost 7-0 to Liverpool should have been dropped or contract terminated. You do not lose 7-0 to your biggest rivals. You don't. You just do not. It does not matter what type of football club you are. You could be on the greatest run of your life. You could be on the greatest form. You just won the Carabao Cup a week before. A week later, you go and lose 7-0 to Liverpool. It does not matter anymore. All that is irrelevant now. You just lost 7-0 to your biggest rivals. You now terminate and you bin every single player that was involved on that day. And you bring in new players. Because that was a disgrace of a result. And that was a disgrace of a performance. It was a disgrace of a performance. I'm sorry. That day was probably the worst day I've watched United ever in my life. Probably the worst day. You could argue maybe the 6-1 was just about worse. But really and truly, that result really deflated that United team. Because that United team was going on a good run. It was going on a really good run. It was getting back to where it needed to be. We were going on a run of games. We weren't losing games. We were constantly winning games. And then that 7-0 happened and the whole thing just completely flipped upside down. Everything just flips. The whole season has been we've written off that season because we reached the FA Cup final and then what we did, we handed our rivals the treble. Man City the treble in front of our very own eyes. People aren't talking about much. People aren't talking about that much. People aren't saying, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal." It is a big deal because we were the only team to win the treble in England. We were the only team to win the treble in England up until Man City rocked up and beat us in the FA Cup final. In the very first Manchester Derby FA Cup final, by the way, very first Manchester Derby FA Cup final. Yes, we got our revenge a year later. We were shit a year later. We were shit. And that FA Cup final should have been the last game of the previous manager. Should have been the last game of Ten Hag. Ten Hag should have been sacked ever since that FA Cup final. Van Gaal got sacked for much less. We sacked LBG after an FA Cup final. I think Van Gaal deserved more time than Ten Hag did. I genuinely think Van Gaal deserved more time than Ten Hag did. Because if you want to talk about young players and a manager using youth academy players, if you're on about youth academy players, Van Gaal was the one. Van Gaal was the one bringing up academy players and using them in the first team. Because he brought up Marcus Rashford, right? He was the one who, sort of used Januzaj for a bit, but then Januzaj was useless. Then we sold him. And then we brought Cameron Borthwick-Jackson. We brought in Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Then we brought in how many young players? Like, we brought in a lot of young players in that year. We used Varela at some point as well. Bro, we used a lot of young players. We signed Martial that year. People forgot how old Martial was. I think it was like, 18 when we signed him? We signed him when he was 18 years old. His first game, he scored a goal against our biggest rivals. And it just tells you the levels back then compared to right now. Because Van Gaal was actually not doing too bad. People will talk about 5th, yeah, and an FA Cup. I'd much rather do that to finish 8th in an FA Cup. It's the same season in a way, but United did so much worse. We got 5th in an FA Cup. That's a sackable offense in itself, finishing outside top 4. Yes, after you spent a lot of money, cool. I hear that. However, I thought that if you had to ask me who deserved more time, Ten Hag or LBG, LBG deserved more time. Van Gaal deserved more time than Ten Hag ever did and ever will. I'm just surprised that he finished 8th and got more time out of that. I'm surprised he even bought himself some more time. Because Ineos rocked up, right? They were gonna sack him, and then Dan Ashworth gave him a 1-year extension, and then that was it. That was the day our season was written off. And I was arguing with a lot of United fans on chat. I was arguing with my cousin. I was arguing with a lot of people saying Ten Hag. He said we had to give Ten Hag time. We had a lot of injuries. We spent 400 million at the time. and he's talking about injuries. You're talking about injuries when we spent 400 million at the time. 400 million, and we're talking 600 million, and he was still talking about injuries, and he was still blaming referees, making excuses in press conferences. You know, our season was over since the day we gave that guy the 1-year extension. It really was. It's even worse than last season, bro. It's even worse than last season. It's not any better. It's not improved one bit. The results have not improved. The performances have not improved. The players have not gotten better. It's all this false gimmick that it's going around the football club, and just I can't accept it, man. I can't accept this from United. I can't. And if the board were to make ruthless decisions, whether they're going to sack the manager, whether they're going to sell these players, do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes, because this football club is in a massive mess. It's in a huge mess. We're not going to get back to the top anytime soon. We're still stuck with a lot of crap players with inexpensive wages. If you're talking about Ronaldo, Sancho, De Gea, Pogba, if you're saying they're bad, what about the players we have right now? Are they much worse than them? Of course they are. We're much worse off now than we had those players that I mentioned. The players that I mentioned, when we had them, we were in a much better position then than we are right now. I'm just saying it as it is. When we had Pogba, Varane, Ronaldo, Sancho, De Gea, and who else? And Mata and all these guys, we were in a much better position. We were in a much better position than right now. We can talk about them being deadwood, but what about right now? We have more deadwood than we did back then. So, yeah, the whole club needs a reset, man. Reset from top to bottom. The Ineos need to go as well. I'm sick of Ineos already. It's been a year, but they can fuck off because they've done nothing to help this football club. They can't even put their own money into the football club. They're cutting costs. You know, they're doing all sorts right now, and they're giving wages to players that don't deserve it. Luke Shaw doesn't deserve his wages. Maguire does not deserve his wages. Rashford does not deserve his wages. Bruno Fernandes does not deserve his wages. Mason Mount, I don't know what he's done to be at United. Number seven on the back of his shirt, and on expensive wages. What's he done ever since he's come in? What's he done? What's Højlund done since he's come in? You know, what's Malacia done since he's come in? And people want to bin those players that I mentioned earlier: Pogba, Varane, Ronaldo, Sancho. Those and De Gea over these guys, and now we're in a much bigger mess than what we were back then because we're banking on these guys to develop, but they haven't developed one bit. They're much worse off than what they were last season. So it's regression, not progression. It's the whole club's a mess, man, from top to bottom. And I'm just gonna say we need a whole reset, and it's not even gonna, and it's gonna be even longer now. Because if the fans were less reluctant back than what they were, right? If the fans were less reluctant, you know, to keep these players or whatever you say, if they were so, you know, demanding, if they were like, you know, I can't even talk, man. I'm so pissed. You can take the floor, man. I need a breather. I'll be right back. You go ahead. You're on mute, bro.
My bad. As I said before, it's how I felt about Chelsea 2 seasons ago. When we had an aging midfield, an attack that I didn't like, a defense terrible, and we lost Rudiger and Christensen on the free, which was upsetting. But I think this United team, it's like Ragnick said, needs open heart surgery. It just needs a whole change, and I think the structure has changed. I like the appointment of Amarim. I like what they're doing in the
Sorry to
background.
interrupt you again, bro. And our fans were upset at Ragnick for saying open heart surgery because he said uncomfortable conversations need to be made about the football club, and he said that the players that need to go. Mourinho also mentioned it. Rashford, Martial, these players of this ilk need to go. And then fans got uncomfortable and they started hating on the manager. So excuse me. So when the managers and the people around the club spoke the truth, when Ronaldo spoke the truth, the fans got offended. Remember Ronaldo's interview? Do you remember his interview, bro? That interview, right, got the fans so triggered that the fans started calling him, "Oh, he's fake. He's not a legend anymore. He needs to get out of our club." You know, they started hating on Ronaldo. But the fans were saying the exact same things as Ronaldo said. There were some fans that were saying the same things that Ronaldo said, but then they got so offended because a club employee said it. And then what happened? There was change. Ineos came in. Even though I don't agree with Ineos coming into the football club, I would have wanted a full sale, right? A change happened because one of the biggest people, one of the biggest voices in the world, spoke out. It just takes a club employee to say the things that the fans don't want to listen to, for the club to wake up and actually do something. Ronaldo called out the Glazers. It takes a lot for a person to call out the Glazers at the football club. And people were siding with, and people talk about, oh, Ronaldo fell out with the manager. Roy Keane fell out with Sir Alex Ferguson. David Beckham fell out with Sir Alex Ferguson at the time. Rooney fell out with Sir Alex Ferguson. But you're calling them legends, and Sir Alex Ferguson is our greatest ever manager. So what's this hypocrisy then? It stems from the fan base, bro. Sorry to interrupt you, man. I just wanted to say all this, man. Go on, bro. Go on.
No, it's right. It's right. I think sometimes fans, because they have they don't think logically when it comes to clubs. They think with their heart, and when you think with your heart, you kind of get attached to players, attached to academy talents, attached to these individuals. You become Garnacho FC, Rashford FC, Bruno Fernandes FC. But in the end of the day, you're all United. So for Man United's best interest, I think Rangnick was right. I think a lot of the things he said was right. And I think this team just needs to be rebuilt, destroyed and then rebuilt. I don't think you'll get relegated, because I think there are 3 or 4 teams way worse than you. But I think it's needed. It's needed. It's needed to be finishing top, like between. Yeah, you never know, but it's needed to be finishing between 12th to 16th. I think this is needed. I think it's a healing process in which United need a bad season like this to truly tell the fans that your players are this bad, that your team is this bad, that under an actual system that these players can't cut it. And when players are let go, there will be no kind of arguments or, no, I like him, or no, it'll be fine. Move on. Bring me the next. And you may need to even implement a system of what type of players you buy. Similar to Chelsea's one, where you go for like an under 25 squad that you build over time, maybe similar to what Arsenal have done. This needs to be a long-term process that affects change in United for years to come. Give Ineos time. They've been... The problem with is that all the issues with United have been the Glazers. For me, I don't think Ineos is the issue. I think a lot of the things they've done has been good.
They can't put their own money to the football club. That's the biggest issue. They're cutting costs. They're doing things that shouldn't be done, right? They always talk about new stadium, this and that, but they're lying. They're lying to the fans. Ineos have been lying to the fans because they've not done anything to help the football club. Bro, imagine talking about, fixing the stadium, and all they've done was fix the fucking tunnel that you walk out of. Instead of the roof, and instead of the rats that fucking walk out of the fucking pipes or some shit. Bro, there are bigger issues in the fucking tunnel. Why are you fixing the tunnel instead of the roof? It makes no sense, Obviously, maybe that means we might move to a new stadium. Who knows, right? And the tunnel might just go with the stadium. I don't know if that's the truth, but really and truly, I can't. I'm just talking a lot of waffle here. I don't know if you agree, but I don't think Ineos are the right people to run the football club. They're not.
I do agree with some of the points.
They've shown that they're just not. They're not powerful enough to run the football club. And they all talk about Glazers leaving. So when are the Glazers leaving then? Because I remember the process during lockdown. Where's the same energy from then? Where's the same energy? Because if you're so upset at the Glazers and Ineos, yeah, you're holding banners, you're still walking inside stadiums, you're still paying the money. They're not gonna go because they're picking up money from you guys. They're collecting the money into the pockets. The money's going into the pockets because you're entering the stadium. You're going to watch games. Emptying the stadium is not going to work out. You've already put the money into the football club. You know what's walking out going to do? What's walking out of the stadium going to do for us? It's not going to change anything. The money's already gone into the Glazers' pockets. No one's going to see the march. Everyone's going to watch the match. No one's going to see the march of the people walking out of the stadium. Everyone will see it when you're outside protesting already, as they showed during the United Liverpool game, which one of the fans, fair play to them back then, because they got one of the biggest games in England cancelled. Cancelled, bro. They got it cancelled. Bro, if you can do that, why can't you? I don't condone the things they did, by the way. Some of the things that you're smashing the cameras on. I don't agree with that. However, whatever they did to get the game cancelled, fair play to them at the time. However, if you're not showing the same energy now, then what's going to happen then? What's going to happen? Because Ineos are having a free ride at the football club. Glazers having a free ride. Then they're pocketing all the money, right? They're taking out dividends for free. Like, bro, it's not going to. Nothing's going to change this football club. Emptying Old Trafford will change, because you know why? Because when AC Milan fans did it, they did it for a few games and the owners left. 3 games, the share prices will drop immediately. Do you know how many fans Manchester United fans have? Do you know how many fans Manchester United have? Arguably the most in sport. Arguably the most fans in sport. Not just football alone, sports. You know how crazy Manchester United following is around the world. It's crazy amount of following. So all it takes is just to empty a fucking stadium, yeah? And that's all you can do. Empty the stadium and get games cancelled. Get games called off. Like you did against the Liverpool game. And I remember that I think the price of the football club went down. But when Sheikh Jassim offered $5 billion, they didn't accept it. They didn't accept it. They didn't accept Sheikh Jassim's bid. I don't even know if all the Sheikh Jassim rumors are true now. I don't know if somebody told me in the chat if all the rumors were, at the end of the day. Because, bro, Sheikh Jassim was the one to run a football club, man. Debts would have been cleared. Stadium would have been fixed. The money pumped into the football club. We would have no issue, we wouldn't have issues buying players, Football club, the board would be changed. People coming into football club. Sorry, I can't even talk. I'm so sorry. I'm stuttering, people. I'm just so angry right now. People coming into the football club, the hierarchy will change. Yes, the hierarchy is changed now, but are they any better? They haven't done anything. The hierarchy right now, they've done nothing. So Ineos need to go. The Glazers need to go. That's not going to solve the on-pitch issues, though. The on-pitch issues need to be solved first as well, because the Glazers have done nothing to help us on the pitch. They've taken all the money out of the football club as much as possible, and the fans are just allowing it to happen because they're just seeing because they're just going to the games every single week and just putting the money into their pockets for free. I'm not one to do things because I live overseas, but at least I know where my football club's at. You can call me an overseas fan all you like. You can call me just a fan from overseas on his armchair. But really and truly, I know the state of my football club. And I know what's actually going on in my football club. I don't need people to educate me on what's happening around the club. Around, the ownership issues. I don't. I know it. Because I'm a serious fan. I've supported this club for 15 years, 16 years now. Going into 16 years. I know the issues at my football club. But the fans just need to wake up, man. They just need to wake up and smell the fucking coffee. Because it's just gotten to the point where now the Glazers have fully taken over. They've damaged the football club. It's a massive fix. It's gonna be a long-term fix. I don't want to say we should go down the Arsenal route or anything like that. I should say we should go down the Chelsea route or whatever it is. It would have been a quick fix if the fans just maybe let go of things. If the fans were willing to let go of things, I reckon the football club could have been fixed a long time ago. It could have been fixed a long time ago. It really could have. The football club is not. It looks like a really, really long-term project, but it's fixable. It's very fixable. Just get the players out. Just fix the boardroom a little bit. Just fix the board. Get Ineos out. Get the Glazers out. It's not gonna be as simple to get those guys out, but the players need to go. That's first and foremost right now. The fans need to be, easygoing now. They need to stop having the sentiment of, but we like this player, we like that player. Let them go. We've seen players like Beckham go. We've seen players like Rooney go. We've seen players like Ronaldo leave. We've seen players like Roy Keane go. All these fans' favorite players back in the day. They were all the fans' favorite players, and now we can't even let go of Rashford. We can't even let go of Bruno Fernandes. Can't even let go of Garnacho because the fans will be like, "Oh, well, we love Garnacho, we love Bruno Fernandes." You can love them still, but just love your football club first. Your football club comes first at the end of the day, and the decisions that the football club make, right? If you don't like something, call it out. Don't just sit there and back everything the club does, because that just means you're just you're a so-called true fan. But if your glaze is out and you're backing them, means your glaze is in. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Because if your glaze is out, right, but you're defending everything the club does, that just means you support them. It makes you support the owners. Slate everything the Glazers do. Slate them. Keep protesting. Keep spreading the word. Why has everything gone quiet? Why has everything gone stale all of a sudden? So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll get into our predictions in a bit, man. I just need to quickly get this done over with. Sorry, bro. Go on, bro. It's yours from the top, man.
No, I hear it all. I hear it all. There's a lot of frustration. This has been a terrible season, and I don't see it getting any better with this game against Liverpool. So I think Man United is just it's a terrible time to be a United fan, but it will get better. I think as I said, I like what Ineos is doing. I don't like the Glazers. The only problem I have with Ineos is that they dealt with the devil, and that might be a big issue in the long run. I think you need owners that control the team. So I think eventually the Glazers need to be kicked out one way or another, either if Ineos does the full takeover or anything of that ilk, or whoever comes in needs a full takeover, because until that happens, I don't see the systemic issues changing. In terms of the footballing side, I see it's going to get better. I like some of the moves that they've made. I like the fact that they were ruthless with the guy from Newcastle when he made a couple bad decisions. I like that they're ruthless with managers. So I think they just need to be ruthless with these players. Stop giving away contracts. Start getting rid of them. Uproot and change the team, and have clear identity of what you want the team to be in the next couple of years. And if you can do that, then the team will get better over time and will become what they should be.
Sorry, bro. I'll be right back. Can you continue the talk for a bit? I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. But on the other side, we have a Liverpool coming into this game on hot fire, top form, top of the Premier League, a team that can't afford to lose any games, drop any points, and team that.
Sorry.
And a team that I think is the complete opposite of what United are right now. And I think as a United fan, you'd be upset looking at this team that could get that number 20 this season very easily. I don't think there's anyone competing with them for the title at this moment. Arsenal look like a team that could be there, but with the Saka injury, it's going to be unlikely. Chelsea.
That's what they do in January.
Yeah, that's what they do in January. Chelsea's a little horse at the moment, so I don't see them being there till next season. Forest ain't going to do much. So I think Liverpool are just going to keep on trucking. I think it's going to be a very easy win at home. Is it at Liverpool's Anfield, right?
That smile just tells you everything.
It is. Okay, so
it says Liverpool versus Man United. So.
I don't know where it is, in it. To be honest, I've been focused on my team, but
let's play at Goodison Park. Let's play at Goodison Park, right opposite Anfield.
Everton need to stay up with their new stadium. I'm going to be honest, but in Anfield, it's going to be very difficult. The fans are going to be up for it, and I think 5-0 minimum to Liverpool. I don't think United have the cojones to compete with Liverpool at the moment. I don't think they competed against Newcastle. They haven't competed as a team for a while, and
yeah, sorry, go on.
What did you say?
No. I'll say it afterwards. You continue.
And yeah, I just think Liverpool are just gonna roll United over. Depending on
Yeah.
how bad the loss is, maybe Amarim might be gone after that game. I don't know, because I think, as I said, for me,
If
Amarim
it's more
came
than
too
7,
early.
he's gone. If it's more than 7, he'll get sacked.
Yeah, I
I
think Amarim came too early. I think he should have came next season
No,
in the summer
I agree.
after some players got removed and stuff, and maybe had
Yeah.
talks with the club and said, "Listen, let me stay at Sporting till the end of the season, bring in these players, but maybe make some decisions in the background, and actually build his team for the summer, because right
Because in
now
the
it's a
summer,
toxic
if,
atmosphere."
say Pep was to leave City, then they might go for Amarim. So it's better to get him now. But at the same time, I agree he came too early. But yeah, sorry, continue.
No, the only issue with him coming too early is that if it gets too toxic and the fans start asking for him to leave, it's going to be
Yeah.
similar to us with Graham Potter. Graham Potter was the right man. It was just the wrong players. Amram's the right man. It's just the wrong players. And then when you get to that point, he's going to have to be moved on because it's going to be too toxic. If you're 15th, 16th, closer to relegation than top 4, top 6, yeah, it's going to be bad. And they're going to ask for someone's head. And who's the easiest man to chop? It's the manager.
Yeah.
So
It-
that's the only problem I'd have. Amarim left it
No, that's true.
just like Potter left a good situation for a terrible one. And then when he thought, yeah, I could do this. But when he got there, he realized, just like Ragnick realized, just like everyone else realized, oh wow, it's much worse. It when you go to the press conference, it's raining. When you look at the stadium, there's rats. You know, there's a lot of problems at United with the stadium, with the staff, with all the other stuff as well. And Ineos aren't helping it. They're
Yeah,
they're
they ain't
making
helping shit, bro. I agree.
the decisions they're making in terms of how they're treating the staff, stop removing Christmases, removing bonuses. That adds to the toxic atmosphere. That adds to the hate from the fans and the way that they're treating the
They
locals and
just
stuff
the
like that.
Glazer. They just
Yeah.
have the Glazer.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
because they dealt with the devil, people ain't gonna really like them like that as well. So they're not like fresh new, like our ones, Clear Lake, where they just got rid of the old with the new. It's not the same. So the
That
devil's
is-
still there, and he's still looking around to get his dividends. So it's gonna be a long season for United, and I don't know if Amarim's gonna weather that storm. I don't know.
and
But
yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
I haven't really spoken much to Liverpool, and I don't really get to speak much. Really, do I really have to say much about Liverpool? I mean, they're top of the league for a reason. They've been the best team in the league on form, on like just looking as a cohesive team as a unit. They've not looked great in some games, but they still managed to get wins. And even at their worst, they can still destroy this United team. And I'm just gonna say my prediction right now. I'm just gonna go with 5-1 Liverpool win. I reckon we get like an own goal. Actually, no, sorry, not 5-1. I'm going for another 7-0. Fuck it, why not? So I'll go for another 7-0 because if the way United are moving right now, it's going to be 7. If it's 7, he goes. Because you don't stay after 7-0. I'm sorry, you just don't stay after 7-0. You can't. You can't possibly stay after 7-0. Ten Hag should have been sacked since 7-0, but we'll talk about that later, anyways. Do I want Ruben to succeed? Yes, I do. Am I backing him? Yeah, 100%. I'm backing him. But you don't. But if you lose more than 7 to your rivals, you gotta go. It's plain and simple. I don't support a manager who holds 7 to their rivals. I just don't. I don't. And I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Ruben succeeds. I hope Ruben buys his own players. I hope he turns the club around. But it's not looking good for him. And trust me, I feel bad for him. Man. I don't think he should have come in right now. He should have come in like another time because. He has so much potential. Like the guy was doing so well at Sporting. Sporting were on for a historic season, bro. They were on for a historic season in the league. So yeah, he's got potential. He's definitely got potential to go manage a top club and succeed with them for sure. United is not going to succeed because the board and the owners are just not going to help him succeed. So yeah, I don't know, man. If I have to go with like an optimistic prediction, like if there was ever a world where United had a chance to win this game. Right, I'd probably go for like a 1-0 or 1-1. But realistically, I'm just going for a battering. I'm just going for an absolute battering, man. 7-0 Liverpool. Yeah, that's what it is. Sad to say anything about my football club, man. It's really sad to talk shit about my football club, but I don't want to. And trust me, I want my club to succeed. We ain't doing that. Man. The route we're going in, we're not going to succeed. We're not going to succeed. Let's just get to the rest of these games. Sorry, let's move on, guys. Subscribe, people, if you haven't already. If you haven't liked, subscribe. Please make sure you do. King's Things will be the title, so you make sure you subscribe. Let's just go through the score predictions and just wrap it up, man. Tottenham Newcastle. I'm going with 3-1 Newcastle win away at Spurs.
3-0 Newcastle.
Villa Leicester. I'm going 3-1. I'm going 3-1 Villa. Sorry, 3-1 Villa.
Ooh, Leicester's a bit of a weird one because under Van Nistelrooy. Under Van Nistelrooy, it's been interesting. Villa are very interesting. They can be up and down at times. I'm gonna go for a 2-2.
Bournemouth Everton. I'm going with 3-1 Bournemouth to win. 3-1 Bournemouth at home.
Ooh, Bournemouth Everton. Yeah, 2-1 Bournemouth.
Yeah. We already said Palace. We already spoke about Palace, Chelsea, City, Newcastle, City, West Ham. I'm going 1-1.
Who, West Ham? Man City.
West Ham. Yeah.
Oh, Man City are gonna slap them 5-0.
3-1 Man City actually. Southampton, Brentford. 2-0 Southampton.
No, Southampton are. Brentford are good.
2-0 Brentford.
I agree with you. 2-0 Brentford. I think it's gonna be an easy game
Away.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy game for Brentford. They're
Brighton,
quality.
Brighton, Arsenal. Arsenal win. I'm going with an Arsenal win. 3-1 Arsenal. I'm going with so many 3-1, but whatever it is, I'll go with 3-1.
I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying 3-1 Brighton. I think Arsenal are gonna struggle defensively against Brighton's attack.
Fullbacks,
The fullbacks. And also without Saka, I think they're gonna find it hard to break down Brighton. I think they were very lucky the last game that they had. Who did they play last? Some terrible. I don't know who they played last game. Brentford. Yeah, I think they were.
Arsenal won against Brentford 3-1. Yeah.
Yeah, they were very lucky not to go 2-0 behind from that Raya mistake. So that could have been a different game completely. So I think Brighton will beat them, especially Brighton at home. Yeah, they're difficult.
Fulham Ipswich.
Fulham Ipswich.
Yeah,
Fulham gonna win that. 2-0.
2-1 Fulham. Fuck it, I'll go for another 3-1 Fulham. I'll go for another 3-1.
Yeah, keep going 3-1s.
And Liverpool United. We already said that. Oh, and next one, Wolves Nottingham Forest.
Ooh,
I'm going with a. Do you know what? I'm going for a draw. Do you know why? Because Wolves got a new manager. Forest are in good form. I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw. Why not?
Another 2-2 for me. Desmond 2-2.
Fair enough. And yeah, that's it. Really, people are going to wrap it up here. Like, share, and subscribe. I have to bounce out. So yeah, King, thanks for coming on, bro. Thanks for coming for Prime. Because Prime have to hop off. But yeah, thank you, bro, so much.
No problem, man.
I'll definitely see you on the next show, man.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about all things sports here on AN Sports, Formula 1, NBA, football. I'm here for all of that. So another great show. Subscribe to AN Sports, and yeah, man. Road to 1,000 by the end of 2025.
I
definitely.
hope so, man. And happy New Year to you as well, man. And obviously,
happy New Year.
And your channel is definitely going to take off this year. I'll definitely be supporting your channel as well. So please make sure you guys go subscribe to King. I'll leave his links in the title. So yeah, that's me for today. Get me to 110 subs, people. There's 24 of you watching. Go get me to 110 right now. I'm literally 2 away. 2 away, people. I left the link on the Twitter quote. So make sure you guys click that. And yeah, see you guys next time.
Oh yeah, and big up Prime as well. Big up Prime for coming on.
Big up Prime. Big up always. You're always a massive supporter of the channel. And big up Shiban. Yeah, Liverpool win by 3. Did my prayers on Liverpool lose. I did my prayers on Sunday. Fair enough. I do my prayers right now. I did my prayers on the channel, bro. That's why I did the thumbnail. Crazy thumbnail, eh? But yeah, thank you guys for supporting. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Please out any else out. Fuck Man United. See you later. Take care. Peace. Good night.